cycle the power on this thing so we can hear ourselves. Turn on the fan. So I just got done doing the repair on a bunch of these. It's booting up right now. These are the units that these get to the point where you push these buttons and it just won't do nothing. You just push and push and push before you finally get this to go down just once, So I took these apart like on 6 of these units on this rooftop, and I've soldered in tactile buttons so you get that satisfactory click. Listen. So, and as you push the button up and down, you get a nice click each time that thing advances. So I'm going to go up here to, let's go down to alarms, for example. There's not going to be any, but you go like this, boom, it's like, we go to current, boom. Look how easy that was. We usually have to push on these. I got to the point on this job to where these buttons would never work, and I like cut them out, and we were shoving like, people, even my other tech was here a while recently, he said, yeah, shove a screwdriver down in there just to get it to frickin' clear the alarm. It's like sucky. So I hacked one of these once to see that I could do it. So now I came here and they actually okayed me to solder these buttons on all of them, because to do like 6 of these, replace them, it was going to cost like many thousands of dollars. But instead of just like a day's worth of labor and some buttons to replace or to solder on and make these. So now the result is that these are better than new. So I'll lock that in on temperature now. Of course, the flashing, that's just the artifact of the camera's, frame rate versus the sampling rate of the LEDs. Because in the electronic world, there's not current on every segment at once. It's on one little piece of the segment at a time, and that's why you kind of catch that with the camera. But they look fine. But here's the thing about making homemade things. My friend Manny, man, and maybe he'll chime in on the video sometime later. We're talking to him on the phone, but he had told me recently that he has 2 of these that are new because they replaced them, and then they wound up replacing the units soon after he took these back out. So he has 2 of these, one for each of us. If I can make us an adapter to make these into handheld navigators. Those handheld navigators are cost a technician about $1,000 to get one. So right now I have this hacked with a 6-pin connector, which is really an 8-pin Ethernet. I kind of hacked down to a 6-pin and plugged it into this LEN connector, and I have all the wires going to the right port going up to this thing, and it's working. So I got 24 volts, which is off of 2 of the pins, and then you got your communication common and your data minus and plus. I got them all on the right thing. I mapped it out, I drew it out, and it's working. So technically I can make a handheld navigator for each of us. So just making an adapter cable now from this 6-pin Molex plug, and with a long cable we were talking about on the phone. You put a long phone cable basically on, or Ethernet cable probably, and then connect it to the 6-pin that'll crimp on, and put like a magnet on the back of these, put them in a waterproof housing or something. It'll be basically a handheld navigator. You could walk around a chiller with it, maybe put 15 feet of cable or something. Be over here, kicking on the fans or whatever you want to be as you're working around the unit, which is what you could do with the navigator, but those things are really expensive. Got done with the phone call. So I don't remember where I was, but basically I have it wired up and working. So the 6-pin is actually powering it with 24 volts, which is these 2 wires that comes from the main board. It's 24 volts, 24 volts. I followed the traces on the back of this board to what pins it goes to on the 6-pin connector, which I have connected with my orange and brown stripe or whatever over here into this. And then I got these 3 wires here is your LEN connections, and the other ones I think are your CCN, which also goes to here. So I got this for the handheld navigator module. I got these 3 wires traced to the right 3 pins, COM, minus, and plus, going to the COM, minus, and plus here. It's going up to this thing, and it's working. So I can go in here and do whatever I want. Go down. Service test if we wanted to, turn it on, Actually, this unit should be bringing on. I don't want to interrupt it because it's been off for a few minutes from me turning off the power. So I wait for the should say occupied, of course, because the blower is running. This thing's just so smooth to run those buttons now. So anyway, yeah, a guy I used to work with, I'm still friends with, he's got 2 of those. He said they're like brand new. Won't even have to mess with the buttons probably, but if I do, I might even still take mine apart and put the micro switches in it, because it's just so nice to hear that satisfactory click, click, click. It's just so awesome. Yeah, so it's awesome going through that. So probably go ahead and unplug that now, so it's proved it was working. So it's just this running a 24 volt through my little handheld device, so I could switch the 24 volts on once I had it actually plugged in, and I have a circuit breaker on the top. So just pull those wires out now, and then yeah, so this is that, which normally this gets plugged in up here. I'm gonna do it. Boot it back up. It just gets its 24 volts, and then it basically the communication gets linked, and there you go. So the supplier temp. So yeah. So it's gonna be awesome. Let me do that. So look forward to that pretty soon. He's supposed to be actually the guy's gonna bring it over to me here before I leave here. Probably pull up the parking lot and hand me one. I'm going to take it home and measure up the connections, the size, the pitch, which I think these are, I don't know how many millimeters they are, but I got to measure with my slide micrometer and see what the pitch is to order the right kind of Molex plug. So basically just order one of these Molex plugs and the pins from DigiKey, which I like, and just order the 6-pin telephone connector. You know, just use probably some Ethernet cable or something. Just use 6 of the wires. Although I'd like to find something with some, you want to use stranded wire, which if you can. Actually, like this one here. This was an 8-pin focus. It was an 8-pin connector that I cut. This thing I want to focus, and I made it into a 6 just for testing. It's stranded, so if I can like find some one that's already got 6 pins on it, you know, like 20-25 feet long, it's already got the end soldered on it like that, that'd be nice. That'll be a project that'll be coming up. But yeah, so got these done. Soon to have some homemade navigators. Save $1,000. That'd be awesome. Have that tool. So anyway.